afternoon. I'm Lora Kennedy with Farmland Quilting Embroidery, and I'm here to show you how to piece a pattern called Compass Rose using stable piecing, which is a product that we created. We manufacture here in our own shop and would love to have you enjoy it as much as we do. The Compass Rose is here. This is in browns, this is in turquoises. This is a crib size with 12 blocks. This is the little bag of scraps we had from this quilt. That's all there was left. So it's very fabric efficient. Now, to get down to basics here, I'll show you how to do it. This pattern comes with templates that are already printed and included in the pattern that you purchase. There are 3 templates that we recommend you copy onto cardstock, give them a little more durability, cut them out, and then tape them to the underneath side of a ruler, like I've done here. On template A, tells you where to line it up with the edge of your ruler. Doesn't matter where, just line that edge up with the edge of your ruler. B and C also tells you how to line those up. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cut a triangular piece that goes in the center of the block. This is the triangular piece. Here it is in its smallest version. We're going to cut this light colored triangle here. Okay, to do that you have a template that's included in your pattern that you will copy over on cardstock and then cut out, like I've done here, taping it to the underside of your ruler as indicated on the template. Template A is the one that's going to cut that center. You're going to have a piece of fabric about 5 1/4 inches wide, a strip. You just cut a strip. The template says this is the long cut edge of the strip and this is the long cut edge of the strip. So you're going to lay this template down like this. We'll go back and cut this one here in a little bit. You're going to cut here. That's not good. Then you're going to flip the ruler over, lining up this edge of your template with the cut edge you just made, keeping your long edges of your strip lined up there, and cut here. And you're going to flip this back over again, lining up this edge with the cut edge, and cut again. Keep flip-flopping this across your strip until you have your pieces. That's all there is to cutting these pieces of the center. The next piece you're going to cut is these two. So you're going to cut 2 strips of fabric, one from each of your colors that you've chosen, 3 inches wide. And these dimensions are given in the pattern. It tells you in there to make sure that you keep right sides one direction, wrong sides another. Follow those directions specifically because you won't have exact opposites if you don't. Okay, then I'm going to take this long piece here and I'm going to lay it down and I'm going to cut across this strip set with this template. And I just keep cutting across here until I get the whole thing cut out of these like this. Now we take these after we've got them cut this way, keep them oriented the same way. This is also specifically said in the pattern too. Keep these oriented the same way. This is where you're going to use template C. You're going to lay this template down, align this edge with the cut edge of your strip. And if you notice here, align that with the cut edge of the strip. The point matches, this angle matches here. That's exactly what you want. Now you're going to cut this here. Now you've got these 2 pieces. This is what's used for here and here. As you cut along, you're going to keep cutting, and you see how wonky it looks. This is exactly what you want. All you're doing is cutting these pieces, and then you're cutting them in half using a template. No measuring involved whatsoever. The next step is to put your pieces of fabric onto your foundation. Your foundation will come in a package like this. So we're going to take one sheet of the foundation here, and we're going to set the rest of them off by themselves, and then we're going to take it and we're going to cut it apart between the dotted seam allowance lines. So I'll cut across here, separate those, cut in between and separate these, and again in here, and get rid of any excess that I don't want. Now I'm going to set 3 of these aside, and I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to start with piece 1 first, again, and then do 2 and then do 3. That's all we have in this piece is 3 pieces in each triangle. You'll be repeating this over and over. Piece 1 is fabric B. The fabric will only fit one way. The way you've cut it so you have mirror images, and the pieces will only fit in one place. So put them in the place they fit in. Okay, so piece 1, on the back side of the foundation we're going to put a little bit of glue inside the sewing lines, and then we're going to take our piece and line that up so that we have at least a 1/4 inch seam allowance around all edges. When it's placed where we want it, we kind of press it in place. Piece number 1 is now in place. Now for my little index card or whatever you're using, I'm using a little ruler. Lay this down on the line I'm going to sew between piece number 2 and piece number 1. Fold this back over the edge, creating an elevated edge that will then butt up against the lip and the add a 1/4 ruler very nicely. And I'm going to trim off anything that sticks out past that ruler. Not very much, but that's what I'm going to trim off. Now I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The next piece I want to put on is number 2, and it's fabric A. Fabric A is the light colored piece here in the middle. It goes on that direction, so then I flip it over here, and I line up raw edge to raw edge, pin it in place, back away from the seam line so that you don't have to worry about your pins, and then we're going to sew that seam. We're going to turn this over so that we sew with the foundation on top. At all times will you sew with the foundation on the top and the fabric next to the feed dogs. You're going to drop your needle right where those two lines intersect, and you're going to start sewing. Back tack a little at the beginning. Sew on the line, very, very close to it. Sometimes I waver just a little bit. Basically on the line. And then we back tack at the end. And cut the thread. As you can see, I'm using an open toe foot, which makes it very easy to see where you're going to drop your needle. Take out the pins. The next thing is to press your piece where it's supposed to be. We go back to the same process again. We're going to put piece number 3 on. First thing we do is create the seam allowance. Fold this back over it. Use the add a 1/4 ruler and trim off anything that sticks out past that edge. We want fabric C, which is going to be the other one, and it's going to fit right there. Turn it over, pin it down. 2 pins is sufficient. Lining up your raw edges. Turn it back over again, and this time you can sew clear out to the edge. Because these seams do not cross each other, you can sew past the end of the foundation or the marks on the foundation. Cut the thread, remove the pins, and press this piece into place. You have now completed the first triangle of the compass rose. And you'll repeat this over and over until you get the triangles, as many triangles as you need to make whatever size you're going after. The only other thing to do is to trim out your triangles on the seam allowance line. Make sure you put your triangles together to make your squares. Then put your squares together to make your blocks. And then as many of those as you need to make the quilt that you want. At this point, If you have any questions or any concerns or anything like that, please feel free to contact us. You can contact us through the website at www.farmlandquilting.net. All of our products are also available for sale. We have a contact page on there that just send us an email. Phone numbers are on there. You can send us, if you have any troubles or any questions or comments, likes. We also have a Facebook page. So just get a hold of us. We'd love to hear from you. That's where all of our mistakes are found and corrected. New products are coming up with, and you're the reason that we're doing this, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Thank you so much, and hope to see you at the next show.